Hey guys, this is Sandy White from Simply Fitt, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. And today I want to share with you stress, immune, and you, and how to stay strong under pressure. What do I mean by that? A combination of three things. When you have a lot of pressure on you, not I hit my hand, now, I've got a little bruise and a slight inflammation. No, I'm talking things of catastrophic levels. You lose your job. You have a family member that you're close to pass away, or you lose your home, or you're in a bad car accident, and things are just constantly piling on top of one another right after each other, like short periods of span. A lot of people don't deal with stress as well as they can. And for reasonable circumstances, I do understand. And I think part of it, I've made this statement before, we practice for everything. But certain things like staying calm under pressure, that's not a norm. And the reason you want to do that, for several reasons. Stress causes cortisol. Cortisol causes you to gain, it's like false weight. But if it continues over and over and over again, your body becomes immune to the signals that say, this is not supposed to be long term, this is supposed to be short term. And then to couple that, there are vaccines that a lot of people wish to take or have been encouraged to take for various reasons. Flu, shingles, what's another one that's out right now? Allergies. You could take medicine, or I think depending on if it's severe, you could take a vaccine for it. But the point is that I'm getting to, I should say. When you are under severe stress, it affects your immune system. And if you're not totally understanding what your immune system does, your immune system is no different for your body, but I'm using this as an example. Your immune system is similar to the alarm that's on your house. It's protecting what's inside your home. The alarm on your vehicle, it's protecting the vehicle. So the immune system is the shield that protects you so that you can stay healthy. It blocks out all of the harmful germs and bacteria that will cause your body to be run down for a short period of time to long periods of times that could possibly be fatal if it's longer. So what I want to share with you guys is a couple things today. What you can do to support yourself and practice, so when you do have stress in your life that may be more than just getting hit on the head when you're playing with your kid. You know how you play with your kids and you bump heads and oh my goodness. Something more detrimental than that. Like I had mentioned before, you can have a car accident or someone passes. How do we deal with that? And part of our mission is to provide you all with simple tips and strategies through health and nutrition for the very reason that we're discussing now, so it doesn't lead to missignaling in the body, in the brain, which could lead to depression. We don't want that. We don't want it to go from depression to suicide when you're having unnecessary stress or an overwhelming amount of stress. So with the simple tips and strategies, you can practice this over and over and over. And when you have stress, about as fast as it comes, it will diminish. And not taking light of anything, of a car accident or someone having a loved one pass. Just covering the fact that if you can put these tips into place, you're able to deal with the stressors in life so much easier, where they won't be a hindrance to your body. So let's jump into what I'm sitting on, what you can do to have stress be minimized as quickly as it comes. So we're going to jump into that right now. Before we jump into the exercise, I do just want to share a little bit with you guys. So as I mentioned, we're talking stress and your immunity and how you can stay strong under pressure. When you're dealing with a lot of stress, it does affect your body producing unnecessary amounts of inflammation. It gives you poor sleep. You have a slower time healing, which I don't know if you all know this, but if you decide to take vaccines with a weak immune system, it gives your vaccine a weaker response. So I just want to share real quick. Studies have shown that people under consistent stress take longer to recover from simple things like the common cold, and the vaccines are less effective in people with high stress levels. So what do you need to eat and drink? So we're going to talk about that, and let's jump into this exercise. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Sandy White from Simply Fitt, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. And I'm on a mission to save 1 million lives by providing simple tips and strategies through nutrition and health so that you're able to overcome suicide and depression. Today, we're talking about your immune system, stress, and how you can stay strong during the stressors of your life. Maybe it could be daily, maybe it could be monthly, but we're trying to have it be as minimal as possible. Or if you're having it on a consistent basis, about as fast as it arises, you know what to do to cause that stress to be obliterated. What can you do? One of the things you can do is recognize the fact that you're having stress. Stress will block your immune system from functioning properly, and we don't want that. As I mentioned before the break, your immune system is a security for your body. It blocks out the harmful bacteria. It blocks out, free radicals that causes cancer, all of that. What you can do, you can cut down on animal protein. And I would recommend that you do this. I like this book. It's called Green Plan. I'll put it up so you can see. And the whole objective is to cut down on animal protein. Now, there are 3 phases. You may be in a position where you're like, that's not going to be ideal for me just because this is all new. So you have 3 phases that you can pick from. But the bottom line is 2 main things that you're doing. You're increasing the fiber in your body. That is going to allow you to relieve inflammation, reduce weight, heal your body. The other one is increasing your fruits and vegetables. A lot of the foods now have been stripped of so many nutrients that now we need to replenish them, and you need to be made aware of it. A lot of you all are swollen in, like some of y'all are swollen all over, some in your ankles, some in your hands. And it's not, and here's the thing, a lot of y'all are like, well, I'm eating healthy. Why am I still having these challenges? Part of that is mainly because, one, the foods that you're eating have been depleted of fiber and the proper nutrients that it's supposed to have because of all the pesticides and herbicides that that has been sprayed all over the foods. That's why you're seeing more and more the commercials and recommendations to wash your foods. We're not jumping into that. What we want to jump into is, one, cut down on the animal protein, and then two, add in more fruits and vegetables, and three, to add in fiber. I talked about that last week. I will provide you guys with just some suggestions on the fiber that you can use. And just so you're doing it consistently throughout the day, I did tell you all last week, and I'll show you again, carry around the fiber packets. It's just, there's no way that you will not remember to provide your body with the proper fiber that it needs. And if you do it before a meal, then you will eat less automatically, because fiber is going to automatically swell up 3 times the size in your belly. So you're not going to eat as much. And then here are some other tips. You want to go outside. Being outside in nature, I cannot stress that enough. The fresh air, communing with nature, having God speak to you, whatever the stressor is, you are more likely to get a response when you're out communing in nature and connecting with God than you are thinking about it sitting in your home. So you may say, well, for whatever reason, I can't go outside. It may not be that the weather's not in a nasty way, meaning it's not raining, it's not cold, it's not snowing. I mean, it's like a perfect day, but for whatever reason, you're unable to, at that particular moment, to go outside. Open up your windows, let the shades down in your house, let the sunlight come in, and then we're going to jump into some exercises. However, here's the thing. When you are having a high stress level, you do not want to do high intense exercise. You can do exercises, but they need to be light. Now, I like to work the largest muscle groups in my body, bums and the thighs. And I talked to you guys about this piece of equipment probably last week and the week prior to, but I hadn't set it up. There was a mix-up. I know I shared that with you all. I got the wrong piece of equipment and the squat machine came. I showed you guys how to manually do squats and then alternative ways to do squats. But this is an easy way if you're like, I'm not doing any of that stuff, but I want to do the squats, because squats, not only are they excellent for your body, I mean, like, it's an easy exercise that works the entire body out, I mean, in itself. But this right here, to me, is a starter. So if you don't want to get on the ground, like I am right now, you can adjust this seat so that it can go down low where you saw my bum on the ground. Or you can get on this lovely piece of equipment, put your feet on it, and it will support you. Now, you can hold your hands here on the bottom, which I don't, that is not my preference, but you can put it here or you can put it on the top, and you're still doing a nice good squat. And it has a red button on here, about as long as my baby finger. It'll tell you how long you've been squatting. It'll tell you how many calories you've burned. So the other thing, it is not going to allow, it's not going to save the results for different family members. This one isn't set up for that. So it will clear out, or if you don't clear it out, it's just going to continue to do the timer, and it's going to continue to do the counting. So each person will just have to keep a journal of what you are and are not, on the days you're working out and on the days that you're not. Now, it has resistance on it, but as I mentioned, when you're having high stress days, you do still want to work out, but you do not want to add on all of this resistance. It is not going to be your best friend. So when you work out, it needs to be light. You can do swimming, yoga, walking. Personally, I don't mind working my glutes and my hamstrings or walking outside. You can put the weighted vest on, but you need to not sit still. And then here's another tip. When you eat, after you eat, go for a 15-minute walk or get on a piece of equipment if you have it and move. It doesn't matter what you do, move for at least 15 to 20 minutes. And it could be seriously light. I mean, don't overthink this. The objective here is to make sure that your immune system is protected by what we're eating and making sure that you're moving so that the neurotransmitters in your brain and body are talking and connecting. So that's why you want to move, and being out in nature, having the sunlight on you allows you to move from that stagnant state of negativity and focus on something else. So here are, I want to recap and then bring it all together. So let's jump into that. Before I do that, let's jump into a really easy meal that you can, a breakfast meal that you can do, because the other thing is you don't want to start your day off with a sugary breakfast. So stress is going to cause high levels of cortisol. And if you're dealing with diabetes, that's a recipe for disaster. And if you're not, it's still a recipe for disaster because it causes weight gain. So we want to make sure we are alleviating high glucose levels and false readings for your body to store fat and stress. We want it to be relieved. And then the other thing is, when you start your morning off with a sugary meal, stress is causing your defense systems to be down, and then sugar does the same thing for 24 hours. So you don't need the sugar and the stress, which leaves a gaping hole in your immune system for that period of time. That's a double whammy. So I've already shared with you what you can do when you're having high stressors to mitigate that situation and get it back to normal. So I want to give you a quick meal that you can start your morning off with versus something sugary. And that includes your coffee with sugar in it. If you're gonna have coffee, add coconut milk to it or MCT oil. Do not add dairy products and do not add sugar. The breakfast meal, this is just one of many that you'll find in the Green Plan book. Sweet potatoes, nut butter, and blueberry. It is an incredible start to your morning meal. Don't knock it until you try it. But there are other meal choices in there if you are just, I don't like any of those. But I'm going to tell you, sweet potato is a good protein. Nut butter is going to fill you up. And blueberries help your immune system, and it also helps with your brain cognitive function. So those are power choices to combine together. But the book, pick what you want. 21 days, practice taking good care of yourself so that you can live a long, healthy life. So with that being said, I want to tell you guys, I am very grateful for you all being here. And I almost forgot these tips to like wrap this up. You want to reduce the animal protein, use the book, pick one of the options, 1, 2, or 3. The best one is no animal protein for 21 days. Be grateful and keep a gratitude journal. That way your brain is not functioning in the direction or thinking in the direction of what's causing negativity, but it's going in the direction of what you're grateful for, which will trigger an answer to help you solve what has been causing the stress. You want to go outside, you want to exercise, and make the exercise light. You do have to move. You cannot sit and do nothing. So with that being said, now I want to remind you guys, so that you're not missing any of these segments, like, subscribe, and share. And also go to the platform that we're on, wytv7.org. There's a plethora of other broadcasters that have information that you may benefit from, or you can share with a loved one. But I am asking you guys, help us reach our 1 million goal by sharing, subscribing, and liking. And make sure you hit the bell notification. That way you know when there's a new episode coming out. There's someone that needs this information, and I may not be able to reach them, but you can. And that'll count towards our 1 million lives being saved. Until next week, I love you guys. Mwah. Bye.